Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
How's it going?
It's going. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing as alright as someone can be. That just got told by his doctor we gotta do all sorts of blood work and stuff because things.
Yeah. Well, you should be healthy. You shouldn't be.
Actually, I am pretty healthy. Actually, I am pretty healthy.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm just pulling your leg, LeRon. Just pulling your leg. Speaking of leg pulling, also here is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hey, after an exhaustible amount of leg pulling, I am back after 2 weeks. And
I almost forgot what you looked like, Stephanie.
I know, but here I am.
I almost forgot your name, actually.
I chopped off my hair. I'm not even sure if I had long hair the last time I was on the podcast, but anyway, glad to be back. It's exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all excited to be here. We are excited for tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Heck yeah.
Are we?
Yes, LeRon. 3 of us are, including PK Power Pack Klein.
Yo, it is episode 269.
Heyo.
We can only do this once every 2 years, so we got to get it in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bad joke. Bad pun.
Was it?
Bad
I think
pun.
it was great. LeRon's just sad because... Never mind. Anyways, hi everyone.
Sad about what? What?
Nothing.
What you got to say?
I say, how are you? Are you feeling okay? Are you doing good? How's work? How's the working out? The whatever else you do in your free time?
Oh, okay. I'll share some good news. I had one of my checkups today with my doctor and stuff like that. Blood pressure numbers are finally in the range that he wanted to see. I'm in the big numbers, like in the 120s now. Like for a while it was in the 130s. For a small time it was in the 140s and stuff like that. But now we've gotten it down to the 120s, and that's where he wants it to be. I mentioned this on one of the way back episodes of Boss Rush After Dark. I've been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and I was at a stage 3. I was at a stage 3, borderline stage 4, which means that like we're looking at, like, if it gets worse, kidney failure and stuff like that. After a long time of like dealing with that, like in managing it, I am in a stage 2, which is basically like something good for a guy my age and stuff like that. So yeah,
LeRon, that's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah. But then there's also some other stuff going on where it's like, okay, yeah, we got to order some blood work and stuff like that because there's some other things going on with you, and we know your body's trying to tell us something, so we need to figure it out.
Well, hope
getting older is like the cycle of that Dutch story where like there's holes in the dam and you keep trying to like clog up the holes with the kids, like clogging up the holes with his hand, and there's more leaks.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And by the way, Marine Gamer, you're trying to appeal to my vanity.
Come on, flex.
You're trying. There's nothing here to flex. There's nothing.
There you go.
There's nothing.
Andre's in the chat.
What? Hey.
Look at that. Look at that. The homies are here. Hunters for hire.
Bitches.
LeRon's trying to get his Monster Hunter buddies in here to try to, stay there talking about maybe doing a show someday.
Trying to boost this shit.
We accept all kinds. Yeah. No, it's cool. I love this feature, and I do miss interacting with our buddies.
Yeah, it's nice. I think the live show adds a little bit of a new energy to the show. If
Friends come first. This man knows priorities.
dang, that's
Wait. Is this writing at dawn? Is this him getting up? Is this him getting up in the morning to watch the Nintendo Direct? Given that it would be
Yes.
6 a.m. his time.
hey, man.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of priorities, I don't think Andre was here earlier when I said, I'm clearly putting the Switch 2 Direct priority above my own work that pays me. So, priorities.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a lot of work done tonight so I can kind of sort of maybe pay attention to it while I do
Nope.
other work.
I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping like a baby, and I'm gonna get up and interrupt my work morning to watch it.
Well, Corey, let's be real. Especially for fans like us, we'll be watching it more than just the one time. So
Yeah, or I'm only gonna watch it once, and then I'm gonna wait for Digital Foundry to do their teardown.
Yeah, I'm interested to
Switch 2.
see if it because like all they've shown is that gray charcoal color, which is fine. That's probably the one I'll get. But like, I wonder if they're going to show other colors, other kind of.
Mhm.
What I would like them
no.
to show is the
It-
Pro controller. Or are they going to sell the same ones? Are they going to be just Switch 2 branded instead of Switch branded? Right? Like, that's I want to know. I want to know what that Pro controller situation is.
They should have named that damn thing the Switcheroo. Come on,
Nope.
like Nintendo. Like, what were y'all think? Yeah,
They were avoiding the U situation with the Wii U, LeRon.
They're always doing these sus ass whimsical names, and they had one on a silver platter.
Have you ever seen the naming conventions of the DS or the 3DS, LeRon?
No, enlighten us.
Okay, so there is the DS, the DS Lite, the DXL,
the
DSi, the 3DS, the
I thought we were
3DS
talking about-
XL, the new Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo 2DS, the Nintendo 2DS XL, the Nintendo 3DS XL, and the Wii
Trojan.
and the Wii U.
I'm stupid because I thought you were about to tell us the code names. I thought you were about to tell us the code names of these systems, like Dolphin and the other dumb shit.
No, how about Dreamcast though? The coolest code name, Katana.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then they cut themselves off of the console industry. Dang, because they made a console that played burn games. What are you doing, Sega?
Anyway, we should just
PlayStation
keep talking
1
about
played
cool
burn
stuff.
games, if I remember.
What?
I thought PlayStation 1 played some burn games because I had a burned copy of Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
It did, but you had to mod your PlayStation and like stick a spring in somewhere to make it think the lid was shut. And then you had to like put a game in and then take it out and swap discs. Or you could just have a totally modded PlayStation that was hard broken.
I don't remember my PlayStation being modded though. It worked for some reason.
Well, then your PlayStation was special.
It was.
Speaking of special, you know what else is special? The Boss Rush Podcast. You can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. If you want to support us for as little as $1, you get access to the pre-show, you get access to One Up, you get early access to Expansion Pass and Book Club, and all kinds of other goodies. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. If you can't financially support us, it's no big deal. Head on over to youtube.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can watch us live every Tuesday. And you can also catch Nintendo Power Block every Saturday night right here on Twitch, on YouTube, on wherever else we are. And if you listen on podcast services, leave us a rating and a nice review. And you can find all of our content on bossrush.net, including reviews, banters, features, listicles, and more, including Switch 2 coverage from Stephanie and others. All right, LeRon, I'm passing the ball to you. I'm soccer kicking it.
Oh, look at that!
Your way.
Look at that!
I'm bending it like Beckham.
All right, so okay, so hold on. Corey, you always do this. You always do this, Corey.
Every time.
You know what you did or did not do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LeRon, do you have anything cool coming up?
Book club.
I don't have a damn thing cool coming up.
Okay.
Like I will have something cool coming up as soon as like title update 1 for Monster Hunter Wilds happens and these upcoming like fixes for the PC version start getting implemented.
They better fix all the versions.
According to Capcom, the PS5 Pro version is the best one.
Great. I'm not spending $700 to play Monster Hunter.
Maybe that's why your Monster Hunter's so muddy.
Maybe.
No, I really don't have anything coming up. Not anytime soon. As far as like things to be on the lookout for. Like I feel like I'm the person that does the least at the Bossers Network. like I haven't written an article for the writing team in forever. I'm not doing any bonus shows right now. You know, like I'm the least common denominator here on the network.
You're the worst, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I am the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You do a lot of backdoor stuff.
Ooh, but backdoor stuff is fun. Backdoor stuff is fun, though. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stephanie, you got anything cool coming up besides Cat?
So no spotlight yet, but I was recently a guest on the Midna Gamerheads podcast.
That's what I was laughing at.
Chewing on my thumb, Midna, the Twilight Princess, is chewing on my thumb. And on Raj, I think it's going to go up tonight. But basically, he's trying out this cool new segment where he gets a few guests on, and we go over a few news topics, and then we debate like about our opinions about the news, and then we kind of gain or lose lives based on our debate. And it made for like really great conversation. So you can find me on one of the newer episodes of the Gamerheads podcast. So check that out.
Fun. Pat?
Well, we always have book club stuff going on. We are going to shift up the April and May book clubs. Originally, it was going to be Tales this month and then Split Fiction next month. However, based on schedulings and stuff, we're going to have Split Fiction this month and Tales next month. So, we have a special guest on the Split Fiction. She's none other than our chief editor, Stephanie Klimov.
I'm a chief editor?
Well, one of them.
Like, wait a minute, did I get promoted? Copy editor and senior writer, but thank you, though. Don't tell Asby that. But yeah, no, Pat and I are playing Split Fiction together. We'll probably chat a little bit about it later on in what we've been playing, but I'm very excited about this book club.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Taylor's best friend will also be joining us, who played the game with her. So it's going to be a very fun book club because the game's actually been very enjoyable. And then we'll have the Tales one coming in May, and we just put out the poll for the June one just tonight. So look forward to the results on that one.
Nice.
Hey, real fast. Matt was like, until I'm a guest, then I'm the worst. Hey, Corey, let's get Matt on the show so we can prototype a Hunters for Hire episode.
I mean, if he's available. Matt, Matt always has a seat on this here podcast.
I know he does.
Matt just doesn't like us anymore. He's just making up excuses.
No, he's
too busy helping people at my job because I do work that matters.
He still likes me. Like, I don't know about the rest of y'all.
I'm Matt. I'm a doctor. He hates it when I call him a doctor because he's not. So I'm calling him that anyway.
You better stop that.
We'll call him Dr. Rewind. That's what I'm going to call him.
All right, so I guess I have the floor now. So real quickly though, I want to welcome everybody back to the show. This is episode 269 of the Bossers Podcast. We're only here because you guys love us and you guys make us feel good about ourselves. So this is why we come back and talk to you every week about it. But hey everyone, today is April the 1st as of this recording. better known as April Fool's Day. And us gamers are accustomed to being either the pranksters on this day or becoming the victims, especially with gaming related shenanigans. April Fool's Day has grown into embracing a tradition for being a playground for the gaming industry, with developers and companies crafting elaborate pranks to entertain their audiences. So yeah, we're actually going to jump in tonight and talk a little bit about some of the best and weirdest gaming April Fool's pranks and stuff like that. So strap in.
I
Good.
I think I don't know. You sent us in the group chat an IGN article, and every time I think of April Fool's Day in video games, I think of that super elaborate Legend of Zelda trailer that they did,
Yes.
probably 12 or 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And that was the first of the major outlets doing really crazy April Fool's jokes. And then I also have to shout out Game Informer's Game and Farcer segment every April.
Yeah,
which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Speaking of IGN though, this year alone, had several notable gags as curated by IGN. Razer. The one that actually had me laughing immediately was Razer unveiled the world's first intelligent brain rot translator headset to assist you in understanding all the Gen Z lingo that you'll encounter in the lobbies and the voice chats of the day and stuff like that. As soon as I saw the name, I knew it was a farce. But Razer unveiled the Skibbity, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I nearly vomited in my mouth when I saw the word skibbity. It's like that word just goes up my ass,
Oh
I really
my
try to
god!
avoid a lot of the Gen Z lingo stuff. I really do. My nephews they use all the Fortnite lingo still, what the Sigma, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what does that even mean?
Listen, there are some things, not a lot. I can only think of one actually right now that kind of makes sense. So I'm trying to be open-minded. Like when they use the term mid, I guess I get it because you think mid is in the middle. So I don't know. At least I can rationalize the meaning out of it, and I won't be so mean about when I hear it. But when I hear what the Sigma or
Yeah,
the other stupid crap that I hear, I just I
yeah.
feel like
I feel like mid isn't really a Gen Z word though, because we used to throw
oh
that word around when we were playing Halo, when I was in high school and college and stuff. When we were playing
come
Halo
on,
2 and
Corey. I
3,
was trying to sound open-minded here, bro.
Yeah, I don't remember using mid. I really don't.
Well, I do. We are not the same person, Pat.
No, we're not. Clearly,
Mm.
even though we may look somewhat
Oh,
similar.
What are you doing, LeRon? You messed it
Okay,
all up.
I messed that up. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share it. My bad. Whoops. I'm so sorry.
dude, at least they didn't have the
LeRon
picture of
broke the
the
show.
skibbity toilet guy, because I saw a picture of that toy somewhere. That traumatized me.
That's okay, Corey. Just use this for the thumbnail.
Here, try it now, LeRon.
Oh. My bad. Next time I'll warn you. But that's what
There.
we're looking at.
There. This is what the direct recap show is going to look like tomorrow night. By the way, mostly not with this skibbity thing in the middle, but the direct in the middle. I don't know. I mean, this might be there, depending on the weird stuff Nintendo wants to show tomorrow. But.
Well, I mean, there was another one that Pat. I'm actually surprised they didn't get you on that one. Shift it back, Corey, for a second. There was another one that
LeRon just loves making my life harder.
hey, you're the executive producer, so yeah.
Sure.
Pat, did you catch this one?
I did see that one. That was very enjoyable.
Dave the Diver remastered. Oh my gosh.
I like how down towards the bottom you see the Y Box Series XL and the LS7. And I don't even know what that Joy-Con's supposed to be. That's obviously Nintendo, but
Oh yeah, it's like a sideways switch thing.
It's your switcheroo, LeRon.
Yeah, it's a switcheroo.
By the way,
yeah.
this image just reminded me of something I wanted to talk about earlier, but I forgot to talk about for the Switch thing tomorrow. But we'll talk about it later, I guess. The that weird screen patent that they had that resurfaced, but theories. But Ed and I have already talked about it at length, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Anyways, continue, LeRon. I didn't mean to interrupt your April Fool's segment.
So yeah, it's all right. It's all right. There are some other ones that are going on here, like Life Crossing, which is supposed to be like Life Crossing was supposed to be like another take on Animal Crossing and stuff like that.
It was Level 5's take on Animal Crossing. They was combining their fantasy life with Animal Crossing, and instead of Tom Nook, his name was Tim Crook.
Tim Crook.
Tim Crook.
Can I say one that wasn't on the IGN article that I liked, and I shared it after the fact? And I mean, I don't really have the best thoughts about GameStop as most people do, but theirs was pretty funny, where they posted an announcement where it says, we all know that, people want to buy our pre-owned games with the cover sleeve on them, but not all of them have cover sleeves. So I think his name was like Greg or something. Like, he draws pretty decent cover art, so he's going to be designing some of the cover art. It was really funny.
They're like, we gave him his own Sharpie and area. I was like, oh my god! Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Where was this humor at when I was working at GameStop?
I know. I was like, dang. Okay, GameStop.
Yeah,
they could afford an artist than when they shut down Game Informer last year.
They can afford to get the guy Greg a Sharpie.
They probably bought a 50-pack and told him it had to last 5 years or something.
Yeah, like Crafton unveiled a limited time dating sim experience for PUBG called PUBG's Winner Romantic Dinner.
Didn't Pal World have some sort of dating sim April Fool's joke too?
More than just pals.
Yep. That was pretty good.
Announced a visual novel dating sim allowing interactions with various characters and creatures from the game. Pat, there was also another one in there for you, a Power Wash Simulator.
Yep, I saw that one with the Quinn wielding feature. It was kind of cool. They started with one, and then they brought out a second one, and then all of a sudden, like 4 more just like pop up on the screen.
Oh boy!
No, there was one by Sega that they posted an announcement how they were going to be moving Tails over to Europe, and his name was no longer going to be miles per hour; it was going to be miles per kilometer.
Oh geez, how did I miss that one?
Pals with Benefits. I actually like that title better. Pals with Benefits.
Pals with Benefits.
Pals with Benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, like there were a few good ones. There was one for Helldivers 2 out there. There was a weapons in Helldivers 2 had grown dramatic in size. Warhammer had something. D-Brand made touch grass skins and grips for the Xbox.
Jeez.
Like some of this stuff was actually pretty good. I don't feel like this was the best year for April Fool pranks. I think 2021 like took the cake as far as like April Fools, because like we were in the middle of COVID at that time, so everybody was a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. So still sticking with the topic, like how April Fools has like kind of become like this day for creativity to gaming and stuff like that. If you reflect upon like the most unforgettable April Fool's pranks in gaming history, what do we think of some of the ones that stand out? Like, I'm gonna say this because I was a boy of a certain age back when Street Fighter was like really popular, and stuff like that. And you remember Ryu had a saying, "You must defeat Shen Long to have a chance against me." And then
Yeah.
Capcom. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm old. I'm old. Y'all can all die in the fire.
Whoa.
Bye, Matt. We love you.
Damn, I
Well,
almost did. That's not funny.
Capcom pranked us one year and actually released the Shenlong code, and that one was hilarious for everyone that tried it, myself included.
Everybody used to try all those old codes before the internet existed.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought every playground code was real.
I like the novelty though, like when game studios like actually troll like us with the absurd updates and stuff like that. Like like everything from fake game modes to like really bizarre character skins or even AI generated NPCs and stuff like that. It's really a fun time. Like in April's Fool 2023. Here's an example. Combat Arms Reloaded basically replaced all the weapons in the game for a short time with rubber chickens.
Nice.
Guaranteed they were inspired by Ratchet and Clank's Chicken Ray.
Yes. That's my inspiration.
I would say some of my more memorable ones. I think it was also IGN that did this one, but the Halo movie trailer that turned out to be a Bollywood movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that one.
He takes off the helmet. He's like, "I need a weapon," and then they start doing the Bollywood dances. That to me was classic. But I would say one of the most classic April Fool's joke, and I had to look this up because I thought it was Electronic Game Monthly magazine, but it might actually be Computer and Video Game magazine. Came out with Nude Raider. When Tomb Raider 1 was back
Yes,
in
that was
its
a
original.
classic.
Yep. When Tomb Raider 1 was back in its heyday, there was a rumored cheat code that you could enter that would have Lara Croft naked. And people fell for this so hard because one, they wanted to believe it was true. And two, I don't think video game magazines were actually pulling off April Fool's jokes like that before. So, like, they put it as, like, I don't know, like some sort of news article
It
about how
was
all the steps you had to do to get this. And Stoy was talking about this. This is like Stoy's favorite April Fool's Day prank, and how he and his brother spent hours upon hours trying to perfect this like really complicated method until they finally looked at what month the magazine came out in.
well. I mean, it was a joke until like Game Shark for Nintendo 64 made it true.
Yeah, mods. What can you say?
Yeah.
That was a classic one.
Corey, Stephanie, you got any you guys can think of real quickly?
I mean, I kind of said mine at the top of the segment. I think
Okay, you got any more you want to add?
I remember that I mean, used to laugh at the Game and Farcer stuff. There was a lot of like funny crossover things in there, or like I forget if it was Game and Farcer or something else, but there was like a God of War dating sim or something somewhere. Like that was a April Fool's joke somewhere, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely. How about you? Anything ringing a bell for you?
No, nothing additional to add other than kind of agreeing with the Zelda trailer and just the more recent GameStop one. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not too big of a April Fool's person, and I just end up kind of keep scrolling. And if I happen to see one, I go, ah, ha, and then I just keep going. I know it's lame, but I don't know. I don't have all the examples.
To go looking for them because I love actually spending time and seeing like how well they're done to see like is there enough credibility to say this might not be a prank and stuff like that. But that's one thing I want to touch on, like the ethics of misinformation. With all this stuff because it's all misinformation. Like everything should always be taken with a grain of salt. Which is why I'm thinking at 11:59, Nintendo's going to come out and say, "Hey, that direct you're looking for tomorrow, that wasn't real. We were never planning on doing that. I'm waiting. I might stay up just to watch Twitter to see what happens." But yeah, some of these pranks have actually backfired for the communities. Like most fans hate any battle royal announcement. For the most part, if it's not already a battle royal type game and stuff like that. And some of them go viral. Like there was like I'm not sure if anybody here remembers it. I had to look it up, and it's true. Like EA prank people with Sims with a Sims expansion where your pets could suddenly talk.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was an announcement, and people no. I mean, one thing I know for sure is like Sims fans are I don't know who has more power, the Sims fandom or the Kingdom Hearts fandom. Who has more power?
I would say Kingdom Hearts because it's more in the popular gaming sphere, I guess. I mean, Sims has like a very quiet, large fan base, right? Because they keep to themselves and they don't try to make everybody, I don't know, jump on Donald Duck's beak or whatever they want to do. I don't know. I mean, the worst thing they do is pull the ladder out of the swimming pool, right? Or like take the doors off of the bathrooms or whatever. Like that's the worst thing they do. They're not out there like swinging their keyblades around, threatening to kill people with Mickey Mouse, right?
God, I can't stop thinking about that now. Jesus Christ!
That was one of the April Fool's jokes I saw. Like, well, not recently, but a long time ago. Was Mushroom Kingdom Hearts was with a Mario Kingdom Hearts crossover.
Never heard of that one. Never heard of that one.
Mario looks
Well,
weird.
yeah, I
in
think
that
that's part of what you mentioned about kind of like being, ethical, so to speak, with the joking. Because I don't know, I feel like the majority of them, what I've either seen myself or heard from, are pretty harmless. But then you also got, you know, keep in mind the type of fan base on whether or not they have a sense of humor. So I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like some of the stuff that I had planned to talk about, like I feel like it's kind of like circling back in a whole bunch of stuff. So just to go ahead and close this off real quickly, April Fool's Day has become more than just a day of jokes. It's a celebration of creativity, engagement. Excuse me, engagement and playful mischief in the gaming world. From outlandish fake announcements to in-game surprises, developers use this day to connect with their communities in fun and unexpected ways. While some pranks leave us laughing and others leave us wishing they were real, they remind us that gaming is, at its core, about enjoyment and imagination. As the industry continues to evolve, one thing is certain: April Fool's Day will always be a highlight for gamers eager to see what surprises await each year. And I will say one more thing: Season 2 for Tekken 8 is out, and everybody wishes that was a April Fool's Day joke. There's so much wrong with the Tekken 8 Season 2 release right now.
Hate to see it.
Yeah. I don't like when games have a bad launch of something. Just I don't know. So then everybody gets all hyperbolic about it. This game sucks now.
Stephen Myers wants Kingdom Hearts at the Switch 2 Direct tomorrow.
The
You
not
mean
cloud version?
I was just about to say the not cloud version, right?
Yeah.
How many of y'all thought that was? How many thought that was a prank when it was like the cloud version of Kingdom Hearts?
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are PS2 games. Why are they cloud versions? RE Chain of Memories is a PS2 game. Half those games are DS and 3DS games.
Who's at fault here? Is it Square Enix or is it? You know what? I guarantee you, Square. I guarantee you, Square Enix was probably using the PS4 code for all the Kingdom Hearts editions to port to the Switch. I guarantee you that's what it was. I guarantee you that's what it was.
They didn't want to compress the files.
Oh, then it shouldn't be a problem for Switch 2 based off of kind of like the range of where it might fall. But again, we'll find out in like 24 hours, much less than. So,
yeah.
Yep.
But to that logic, though, LeRon, like they ported the Final Fantasy remasters of 10 and 12, and those are on PS4.
I haven't. I don't know. Like, there's this. We
don't forget Skyrim.
I'm not blaming you, LeRon. I'm just saying, like, there's no logical way around why these are the cloud versions.
Listen, I question a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in Nintendo Land. I question a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But hey,
Switch 2, I'm excited. Let's make it happen.
Hey, everybody out there watching and or listening, shout out in the comments. Like, please let us know something. Like, what was one of your favorite April Fool's pranks in the gaming community? We'd love to hear about it, and maybe we'll revisit this topic and talk about some of that stuff a little bit later. Before we move on real quickly, let me just say this. Pat, Stephanie, Corey,
what?
Y'all the greatest. Not the greatest.
Aw, right back at you.
What do you want?
That wasn't an April Fool's joke, was it?
You said, "What do I want?" Did you just ask me what I want?
No, I said that wasn't an April Fool's joke. You're not gonna be
I said
it was not. It was not an April Fool's joke. Like, no, I love you,
LeRon. Please notice that I was the only one that actually.
I know, right? You didn't doubt my affection. Yeah, you didn't doubt my affection at all.
My job forces me to be skeptical.
You said you've been hurt too much, Corey?
Yeah. Usually when somebody says that, they usually want something.
I would never give you a reason to be skeptical. I would never give you a reason to be skeptical of my intentions with you, Pat. I would never. I don't know why I started laughing just now, because I think I just killed my credibility, didn't I?
Yep. As accountants, we're taught to, doubt the intentions.
And to be fair, every time my boyfriend brings me flowers, I just automatically go, "What'd you do?"
Oh. All right.
Usually when I bring my wife flowers, she's like, "Why'd you spend money?" Oh, it's fine.
Anywho.
Then my daughter likes them. Anyways, well, LeRon, what's next?
Okay. All right. Well, we visited this topic a couple of weeks ago, but we're coming back to it because some interesting developments have happened here in the in Ubisoft land, and we just need to talk about like Assassin's Creed Shadows launch success, because 2 weeks ago, on this very show, we talked about the apparent lack of interest of Assassin's Creed Shadows, especially on the wish listing charts, and what it may mean post launch for the newest entry in Ubisoft's flagship franchise. Well, we're back with some big gaming news surrounding it. Assassin's Creed Shadows has officially become the second biggest launch in the franchise's history. According to all the sales data, the game surpassed 2 million players in just 2 days after launching on consoles and on PC the opening week. And that is definitely an impressive feat, even outpacing fan favorites like Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. So now we have a full panel back on the show. The question is, what do you guys think is driving all this massive success?
Because it's an Assassin's Creed game and they always sell well despite what the popular gaming culture thinks.
Oh my God. See, Corey had to bring the party pooper answer. He had to bring it.
It's not a party pooper answer. The people pooping on Assassin's Creed are the party poopers.
We haven't gotten Assassin's Creed in almost 2 years, bro.
That's fine.
I know, right?
And
Remember
we
these?
won every
Remember
year.
these games? You remember these games you crank out every year? Remember that?
Yeah,
Yep.
but have you seen how big these games are now?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a
every
Have you
challenge.
seen
3 or
how
4 years is
freaking
fine.
gorgeous this game is now?
Sounds like a
Yeah,
challenge
it's
I
for
think that's
Ubisoft.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons this is doing so well is just the publicity it's getting on the social networks. Like those who are playing it, they are posting their videos, they are posting their screenshots all over the place. I have posted my screenshots on my social medias. Like this
Mhm.
game is so freaking beautiful. Like I would say it's even better looking than Ghost of Tsushima was. Yeah, yeah.
Can we put him in timeout?
I
No.
agree. I mean,
Oh,
my opinions of Ghost of
I'm
Tsushima
exercising.
have already been discredited by this panel, so I guess I can't say my
I'm
opinion yet.
exercising my right as an admin, and I'm going to mute microphones for 2 minutes. Stephanie, let's talk.
Can you?
Yeah.
Now, why you guys like? That's
Yeah,
funny because both of you have not, or you like both of you have
I,
not played Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I,
So,
I I haven't. In all seriousness, I didn't really have a
hmm
big interest in. I haven't really had big interest in playing an Assassin's Creed game for a while. Like the one, like probably the most recent one that would have got me all hot and bothered was Valhalla. But ultimately, the Assassin's Creed franchise has always been lukewarm to me. In my opinion, like I did not like the original one, but I definitely liked the sequel. What was it? What was it called? The second Assassin's Creed game. What
2?
was that one called? Was it just called Assassin's Creed 2? I thought there was a
yeah,
subtitle to that game.
nope,
No,
it was
there's
two. It,
Assassin's Creed 2, and then there's the Ezio trilogy, which is 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, and then
Okay.
3.
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Listen, I'm planning on getting Shadows, but I didn't get it right on launch because it'll probably go on sale in a couple weeks.
That's
There we
Just
usually
wanted to
go.
put out
There
there.
we go.
the
There's
going
a real answer right there.
joke. hmm No,
Uh,
like this Assassin's
Maybe
Creed, one of the things that's I really like about it is that it's got this dynamic weather system. Like it will either be misty or it will be raining or it'll be absolutely downpouring with thunder cracking everywhere. Like it and or it could be snowing too. Like it's got the full range of seasons that change throughout the game and it is so freaking beautiful. Like the foliage that they have everywhere. Like they literally just plop trees like so heavy that if you try to go into them, you hardly can see, in front of you. Like
Mm.
this is a
Mhm.
very gorgeous game. And
Yeah,
I think that's caught a lot of people's attention.
It's not as
yeah. I
big as
also think
Valhalla, right?
it's
It's
bigger.
Oh,
no,
I think
it's
it's about the
probably
same
the same.
size.
It's
okay.
about the same size. I've heard the map is a bit smaller than Valhalla, but you're still expecting a 50 to 80 hour story.
Got it.
Yeah. I also think that the time periods Assassin's Creed has chosen pretty much overall have been really, I think people are tired of like the Roman, Greek, kind of ancient world settings. I think that's why Black Flag was so successful because pirates are exciting, right? In
hmm
Assassin's Creed 3, like the American Revolution is different. Like we never had a game and like a popular series take place in that era before, right? Or Syndicate. Syndicate was during the Industrial Revolution, which is crazy because everybody was like, well, how are they going to introduce, you know, this kind of technology into Assassin's Creed, right? Because it hadn't been done before. And then they go back to ancient Egypt and ancient, Greece and, the Viking age, which is like all fine, but like, I think people were tired. Like we had just gotten God of War, which was also similar tone, right? And
Yeah,
I feel
Norse
like
mythology is overplayed now.
yeah, and I think
Well,
like Assassin's Creed Shadows is bringing something that it's a different, refreshing setting, right? That not too many games are doing. I mean, we're seeing a lot more of it now, and ninjas are kind of the end thing now, right? With like Ghost of Tsushima and Rise of the Ronin and Ninja Gaiden coming out with 4 games this year for some reason. So it's I do think though that feudal Japan is something Assassin's Creed fans have been asking for since 2 also, and we're finally getting it.
Yeah.
So
As someone that just admitted that's a couple minutes ago, like I'm lukewarm to the series. What's the lore of Assassin's Creed? What is the lore about all these assassins? Like, are they all related? What like just give me
They
the Cliff
have
Notes real
rebooted the
fast.
lore so many times now. Like even this game, I feel it's been almost a reboot to the lore again.
See, yeah, because
I think
that
it's
was my
all one.
question. Because
I thought it was all one continuing storyline. I think.
They like you had the Desmond trilogy, which was 6 games, but then after Desmond, then they're like, okay, well, what if we had a god, or an old one released into the system, and
Mhm.
they like that was like the next 3 games, but then they ended that in a comic book series because they didn't know where to go, and so then they introduced the
Layla,
female Layla was
Layla.
yeah, they introduced Layla, but now, that story hit a halt in like Valhalla, and what they're doing in uh, Shadows right now is just, you know, I don't know quite where it's fitting. You're being guided by someone called the Guide, which looks just to be like a light figure, in the computer program. So that's all. There's no Layla. There's no spoiler alert. There's no Basim. Like all these things that they were building up in the last 3 games aren't in this one right now.
Okay. All right, that's what that answers my question actually because I was thrown like when we got Valhalla and Odyssey. I was like, wait, how's this making sense? 'Cause I thought this was like
hmm
I thought the whole order started like in the Renaissance.
No, technically, even in Assassin's Creed 2, the Order started in Egypt with the
Oh,
first.
okay,
Which is
The
what
first assassin was
Origins of the
Ahmet, or
okay,
yeah.
okay,
uh,
yeah. Like I
yeah,
said, I'm
and
uncultured.
hmm
Origins kind of explores a lot of that, which is like it's really Origins. The story in Origins is really cool. I think the combat is a little lacking, but I think they were trying to pull off like a Souls style combat system, and it just didn't really flow with Assassin's Creed, which is where Odyssey actually excels, in my opinion. And
Mhm.
I think Assassin's Creed has become more about the historical stories now instead of the out of the anime stuff at this point, right? I feel like Pat alluded to, like it just since the Desmond arc ended, like they just have been lost and had no idea where to go, and it showed. And pivoting away from that at the moment is probably the right move. Um, but yeah, I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is actually really, LeRon, we had that conversation about having a black protagonist in feudal Japan. Like, why did they choose that? But I actually think that storyline is incredibly compelling, along with the female. I always forget her name.
Maui.
Yeah, her kind of story is also you spend a lot of time in the beginning with
Yeah.
her, but
Basically, the first like 15 to 20 hours, you're her.
mhm,
Man, that's a lot of
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And
but the game
she's the
opens up with him.
yeah. Yeah, you
Interesting.
get him for like the opening level, and then they switch to Naui,
Okay.
because she is technically the assassin in the game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right.
it's cool though. I think I it feels a little bit refreshing to see this in an Assassin's Creed game, where you're not some hulking
Mhm.
giant, Viking or gladiator or something. So
Yeah, it like the play styles are very different. You go in with Yasuke, he's will plow through the enemies like the paper, where Naui will probably can get killed in about 3 hits if you're not careful enough.
Yeah.
Like she was designed for the stealth, and Yasuki was meant for just being a tank.
Yeah. But let's real quickly though, let's do a little bit of talking about this. So Assassin's Creed Shadows has recorded the second highest day one sales revenue in the franchise in the franchise, surpassed only by Valhalla. Notably, this success comes despite it being a March release, which is a period typically less lucrative than the traditional holiday season when the previous titles were launched. Like, yeah, pretty much. If Valhalla was basically a launch title for PS5 and PS5, but most of the other Assassin's Creed games usually around like a holiday rush period, stuff like that. So that's something to take into account. Speaking of, the game did not benefit from the pandemic driven sales surge that boosted Valhalla sales. So like, good on this game. Is it just the fact that people were ready for a new Assassin's Creed game despite the drama that came out about it when it was announced?
I do think that's a part of it, and
Mm.
like you said, there is definitely some breathing room, some space, especially after Mirage kinda not doing so well, so I think part of it was a little bit of extra time. I think this one was pretty well thought out. I think it's a pretty popular time period and destination, and even though I haven't played it, I have seen photos and videos of it, and I do think it is, graphically stunning.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the timepiece. Like people, ever since Assassin's Creed started going off in different regions, everyone's been clamoring for either in Asia or China, or sorry,
Mhm.
Japan or China. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, I there. I mean, yeah. There's a lot, also a lot of storylines they could explore in this time period too, right? I mean,
mhm.
if you've played a Dynasty Warriors game, you're gonna
Yeah, pretty
know a
much.
lot of these characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the Sengoku period is probably the most famous of the Japanese eras. So
yeah,
they chose a good one to go for.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Now here's something that's in contrast to like what we reported on a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the wish listing syndrome for Assassin's Creed. Uh, PC played a significant role, particularly Steam, in this game's success. Approximately 27% of the total activations for Assassin's Creed Shadows were on PC, with Steam contributing significantly to this figure. Um, a lot of the analysts are saying that this marks a strategic shift for Ubisoft, as Shadows is the first major title since 2019 to launch on Steam, indicating that the platform's renewed importance could be key to Ubisoft's distribution strategy in the future. Um, I'm just gonna say this, and this is me, the PC gamer, talking. The more and more people are actually like jumping onto like these traditional console games on PC. Like this is kind of the trend that all these companies want. Look at how Monster Hunter's done, for example. Look at how like all those Sony titles have done. Well, maybe not the last couple of Sony titles, but look at how like when those Sony titles started dropping on PC, like how that took off and stuff like that. Um, it's I'm not saying that the PC is I'm not saying the PC is going to be like the winning factor for most games going forward and stuff like that. But the interest in PC gaming and stuff like that is definitely going to give like these game sales a nice boost and stuff like that.
yeah. No, for sure. I think obviously like this whole agreement with Tencent kind of changes things, but and Stephanie, you said you're waiting because Ubisoft games go on sale after like 3 weeks, but um and I think the smart decision would have been to wait, and all. I mean, the smart decision is to wait on every game, right? Because like it'll go on sale eventually. Even Nintendo games once in a while will drop down to $40, right? But like we want to be part of the conversation, and I, as somebody who wants to vote with his wallet, I guess. And I want to see more Assassin's Creed games, and I want to see more games in different time periods, because I think that's what makes Assassin's Creed so unique, is you can set a game anywhere and any time and kind of fold it into this story arc. Like look how many time periods they've taken over, right? They've had, obviously starting with 1, and then you have the Renaissance and American Revolution and the Industrial Revolution and the French Revolution, and then ancient Egypt and Greece, and then you come to feudal Japan and pirates, and like, how many series can do all that? Aside from like maybe a licensed game. I mean, we were talking about Kingdom Hearts earlier, right? I mean, that can go to all these weird Disney worlds and do weird stuff, but like Assassin's Creed is something you can do anywhere at any time. I mean, there's even the side-scrolling Chronicles ones, right? Like they take place during the Russian, what is it called? Anyway, and then like the early 1900s, right? Like that everybody knows Anastasia, right? Like there's a whole game revolving around that, which is interesting. I wish that would have been a real, quote unquote, real game, but
I think it was just called the Russian Revolution. not to add another revolution in that group, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just
yeah,
I'm just spouting off now.
No, I mean, you're right.
I just think that's what makes the series unique.
That's one of the things I love about it. I love the historical fiction aspect of it. And like the game, like even the series has been really good in bringing education to the game series. Like in Shadows, you can look at these little glitches and they will give you information about like the specific place that you're in and why it was important in Japanese history. Or like a cultural aspect to it. Like Ubisoft has been very good with this series and introducing the culture and not just like using it as a timepiece to make a game.
Yeah. The Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia is bothering me, the story. I need to know when it takes place, because it's bothering me now.
It's probably 1917.
1917, 1918. We're talking about during the timeline of Anastasia Romanov, and 1918.
The Bolshevik storyline, Bolsheviks murder mystery. That's what I was.
Yeah,
that was the word I was looking for, but I didn't want to say it out loud because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to sound dumb.
All right.
I really liked Assassin's Creed India. That game was colorful, very different.
Yeah,
looking.
Yeah.
All right, so
sorry, LeRon, we keep interrupting you.
I was just gonna like pivot us to like the actual elephant in the room, and this is more for Ubisoft than Assassin's Creed Shadows. With the strong performance of Shadows, though, comes at a pivotal time for Ubisoft. It's basically following a series of underperforming releases and financial challenges. Back in January, the company announced plans to reshape its operations and explore various strategic options to unlock its assets' full value. The success of Assassin's Creed. I'm sorry, like I'm dealing with some side banter. The success of Shadows could play a crucial role in influencing Ubisoft's future direction and stability in the gaming industry. Corey mentioned Tencent. Tencent is kind of like they're the vultures are circling. As far as Ubisoft is concerned, with that one right there. And also,
well, that already happened though. That they signed a deal and they made a new subsidy.
Did I miss that?
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah. Last Thursday,
last week,
I want to say.
Okay. Oh wow, I definitely missed that. Too much Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. They signed that basically Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy, specifically Rainbow Six, is there. It's all going to be one subsidiary now.
So. Yeah,
I feel like this is a hail.
Yeah, they're grouping up a bunch of Ubisoft companies to be a new subsidiary.
This sounds like a Hail Mary by the Guillemot family. This is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I think they
Yeah.
just. Here's the thing, though. I mean, Ubisoft is too big. You know, I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, but no developer that's not called Microsoft needs to employ 21,000 people.
Mhm.
Especially with the amount of games they don't put out, right? They don't put out games every month or every couple months. They put out like 2 or 3 games a year.
By
You don't
the
need
way,
20,000 people for that. This sounds like a studio that's like 3 or 4,000 people.
Mhm. By the way, for not to be a Debbie Downer, but Eidos Montreal just laid off 75 people.
75 people, yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
Yep.
And this is just the beginning. So
yeah. I think they were cited as saying like they have nowhere to put them. Nowhere to put them or relocate them.
Isn't that the studio that's working on the Splinter Cell remake? That's that studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Buckle in because we got a very turbulent economy coming in the next 3.5 years. Buckle in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe things will go better at the midterms, and I'm not going to make this political, so we're going to stay on this. As Assassin's Creed Shadows cements itself as one of the franchise's biggest launches, it's clear that the series still has a strong and dedicated fan base. So thank you to the fans on that one because like you guys are making it happen despite all the BS that's out there, online and all that stuff. Like we may need to make dedicate an entire show just talking to this woke mindset in gaming and stuff like that. Because like as a person of color, it's really pissing me off.
Well, their crowds are starting to eat each other right now, so
that is true.
Good, maybe they'll all die off.
Yeah. But with Shadows, we don't know whether it's the setting, the gameplay, or Ubisoft's evolving strategy, but there's plenty to take away from this milestone. The real question now is, where does Assassin's Creed go from here? Will this momentum carry on forward, or is this just a momentary win for Ubisoft? Either way, it'll be exciting to see how the series evolves. Thank you guys for your words on this segment. We appreciate that. And Stephen Myers, I saw you out there. A lot of people will agree with you. Assassin's Creed Mirage was pretty mid. A lot of people will agree with you on that one.
Yeah, turns out people say they wanted that as type Assassin's Creed, and then they didn't. Shocking.
My issue with that is Basim is not a good character, and why they made an Assassin's Creed game based on him is just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently
almost none of those characters were important. I don't know.
I mean, apparently it was supposed to be a DLC to Valhalla, and they just spun it off because it became too big.
It's fair enough.
But Pat, let me ask you one thing about Assassin's Creed.
What's up?
They did this? Did they do the hub thing on PlayStation? I assume you're playing on PlayStation.
They did do the hub thing on PlayStation. I think that's annoying. Their Assassin's Creed Infinite or Infinity that they were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying. I hate it so much. Just all right. Let me play the game. I don't need a timeline with all the games listed on it so I can choose which one I want to play, maybe. Sorry.
That's what they want to do. That's the whole point of it.
LeRon, help me out. Get me out of here.
I got you, bro. So last week, if you tuned into the show, like Corey and I definitely gave you a preview that the end of the month, Attaboys and Get-Togethers were going to be on this week. But real quickly, I just want to direct everyone's attention. Head over to bossrush.net and check out David Lasby's banter from March 17th talking about Avowed. Basically, Avowed is a fantastic addition to Game Pass and a big win for the Xbox. Check it out. Like, he had some very wonderful talking points in there. Like, like being a Game Pass gym, players and critics are loving it, and it is a big win for Xbox. Head over there, check it out. Like, leave some comments and some responses to it, and we're going to go ahead and move into our end of the month. Well, technically, it's the beginning of the month, but yeah. it's time for us to do the thing where we go back and we talk about what the gaming industry is doing right and what they could be doing better. It's Added Boys and Get Together segment. If you're new here, basically each panelist will pick a person, company, developer, game, or something else to shout out as doing something great recently in gaming, or otherwise we'll flip it and we'll talk about a bad job, a bad decision that was made recently, all gaming related in the industry, otherwise by a person, company, developer, or game. I don't really have a preference for who goes first. Just somebody start talking.
Well, since we have already just kind of talked about them, I just want to say attaboy to Ubisoft. Congratulations on your successful game. Also, congratulations to the person running your social media account because they are freaking on fire right now.
Oh, they lit
Tackling,
Elon Musk's ass up. Oh my god.
they did that. They did that. They attacked a lot of or they didn't attack, but they, fought back against a lot of the griefers that are going against them. It's hilarious what that account has done.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what the old Sonic the Hedgehog account used to do.
Yo, remember how Wendy's used to roast everybody on their social media?
Dude, I remember Arby's in the video game social media posts. Those were awesome. How they would always do the latest big craze with the box or with the boxes.
Yeah.
Like cutting them up and making that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't have anything really to get it together. To be perfectly honest, I haven't heard a whole lot of negative news.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to just say, shape up.
That's good, right? We don't always have to verbally last companies, developers, or whoever, right?
I mean, I guess the only one I can think of at the moment is not really a video game company, but Twitter/X. One of the whole reasons Nintendo made their Nintendo Today was because Twitter was basically like, oh, you pay us like $50,000 a month, and will allow you to make your your posts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Nintendo's like, fuck that, pull out and make their own app.
Yeah, I think that's part of I think they're experimenting. I bet all this stuff goes into one app soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think,
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
talking about this social media stuff for a while.
Who all signed up for it?
I did.
I did.
I had a feeling that they were going to drop some really quote unquote big piece of news of it relatively quickly because Nintendo would be like, see, you should have gotten the Nintendo Today app, which was the Zelda movie release date.
Yeah, I've got the app, but for the strangest I'm having the strangest time linking my my Nintendo account to it, so I can't see all the news.
You got to link it to your Nintendo.com Nintendo account, not your emulator account, LeRon.
Mm-hmm. Burn.
Corey,
I'm joking.
Corey, get it together. Get it together.
Oh,
I know, man.
Get it together.
I know. You don't have to, dude. You don't have to tell me again. I know.
Have any of you guys been getting notifications from the Nintendo app? Because I have it set for notifications, but I have not seen anything on my phone to notify me of news.
No.
Okay.
So I got two different ones. One was a Fire Emblem Engage secondary box art, and they said, "Hey, look." I said, "Oh, cool." And then I forget what the other one was. It wasn't important, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just not getting notifications from it, which is weird, but oh well.
All right. Well, since I'm on the docket right behind Pat, I'm going to say attaboy to Hideo Kojima, because my God, like that Solid Snake look-alike that he got for for Death Stranding 2. Oh my God. Talk about a good way to stick it to the fucking man. Like Capcom. I'm not Capcom. I'm sorry, Konami. Y'all know y'all fucked up. Y'all know y'all fucked up. and the fact that one of the greatest talents that actually started in your basement is now doing this to you, like, you deserve it. You deserve every bit of it. And I know for sure that Death Stranding 2 is going to be a success.
Mm-hmm.
For my get together, Valve, we need to have a conversation, and I think my buddy Andre Wilson will agree with me on this one. Y'all Steam Deck verified system is terrible. it is a,
Yeah,
it
it's
is a
not so good.
it is a joke. I feel like, as an IT guy, I feel like whomever is in charge of the Steam Deck verified system probably takes their job as serious as the person at Microsoft for Windows. When you transfer a file and it tells you how long the file takes to transfer, and the number's always fluctuating and changing, even though like it's only 100 kilobits.
Yeah.
like come on, guys. Like, get it together. Because like, this is how I know like Valve is not really taking it seriously, because like, right now Valve is like saying like they're not making any new iterations of the Steam Deck anytime soon and stuff like that. So like, the one thing that their base can bet on is being able to play these games a certain way and stuff like that. And like, when a game comes out Steam Deck verified, and then people who are trying to play like Final Fantasy 7, Rebirth, and they're having issues even though it says verified on Steam's page. As a matter of fact, I think I heard recently that they changed the rating of that, to not verified anymore. Let me check that though.
And
But
while you're checking, I will second that. Like, I've been playing a lot more of my Steam Deck lately, and it reminded me of why I, quite frankly, almost completely disregard the the deck verified thing or not, because there are times where it says it's verified and the experience is subpar, and
yeah,
most of the time it's actually the other way around, where I feel like maybe games are getting gypped because they say that they're not verified or it's questionable, and it plays just fine.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
It still has a check for verified. Our buddies at Steam Deck HQ said that the game runs well on Steam Deck with some compromises. It sticks to 30 frames per second more than expected, but it requires low settings and has a high battery drain. Steam Deck HQ gave it a 6 out of 10 for its Steam Deck score. But yeah, get together. I have a ROG Ally. I have a ROG Ally, and but I did want to dabble with the Steam Deck, but like, just all these little things right here. And I'm an IT guy. I'm a PC guy. Like, I kind of like thrive for these variables and stuff like that. But that right there is a turnoff for me. Like, like, if you can't get the verified system correct, like, what the hell,
Mhm.
people already can't play certain games because like, the anti-cheat is just going ballistic. I'll shut up now. Who's next?
Well, fair point. Well, since I commented on Steam Deck, I guess I'll just go. I have more stronger attaboys and get it togethers, but I have a like a double header here. So for attaboy, I'm just going to preemptively say Nintendo, just because regardless of what's going to happen tomorrow, I'm sure it's going to be well done.
you have a lot of
Um,
you have a lot of faith. It could be a dumpster fire tomorrow.
no,
It can be a
but
dumpster fire, but we'll probably all pre-order it.
right. I just feel like one way or the other, like, things are getting executed. I do see various writings on the wall, and this is outside the scope of this particular recording, but it's with their virtual game card. I wrote a banter on that. Their Nintendo Today app, their music app, which they've been adding music pretty regularly and has been impressive. So I just feel like they're gearing up for something pretty big. And then, have to flip back because all of a sudden I had the biggest brain fart. Also, Game Informer. That's my big one. Welcome back, Game Informer. Congratulations for having literally everybody on the original team back. That is wonderful. Obviously, we don't know if this is a sustainable thing, and I'm not saying that because I want to be negative. I hope that this is a long-standing return to form. So, attaboy Game Informer.
Who was the person that bought them? Was it? I think it was called like Gorilla
Guns, yeah,
something.
something like that.
Gunzilla.
Yeah,
Gunzilla.
yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then for my get it together, I'm just gonna kind of be cheap and say Eidos Montreal for those layoffs. And then I don't mean this as harshly, but just because it continues to be like a desert. I mean, Xbox, come on. My Series X is gathering so much dust, and I don't know. I hope we see something promising during the Summer Games Fest.
I feel like Xbox has had more games than anybody this year. They've had like 12 games come out this year.
It's true. It just
They have
doesn't help
5 in
that they
April
all go on
alone.
other. Just doesn't help
Yeah,
that they have all their games going to PlayStation too.
I guess it's really
I mean,
more
that's
for I
fair, but
don't know where they're I don't know where they're going as far as hardware, I guess. I've been thinking a lot about selling the Series X because I'm like, well, if the games that they're putting out are going to come out on other consoles, I think the first console I would get rid of would be my Xbox. And like I said, this isn't like a really hard get it together. I'm not being very severe against Xbox. It's just like, well, it's, I don't. mm,
Microsoft should definitely abandon the strategy of doing split systems. They should abandon that.
well,
Like
the
it,
the the thing right now is they're looking at making a a PC integrated with Xbox for the next gen.
you mean the handheld?
So like no, like their next box is
That,
going to
I,
be a PC friendly Windows 12 style box that sits under your TV
Windows 12.
because they want to put yeah
This is my first
Windows
time
12.
hearing of that. This is my first time hearing of that. Okay.
Well, before you sell
How
your
often do you
X-
look up stuff on Xbox though?
Okay, fair point.
Step before you sell your Xbox, though, check out South of Midnight.
Will do. No, I'm
Yeah,
not really going to
That
sell it anytime soon, but
I think their point though is like you can either pay $70 over here or you can play it on Game Pass. You know, that's going to be their strategy moving forward, and anything interesting will come later to other platforms, right?
mhm.
So unless it's something they need to put out everywhere, but
Yeah, no, fair enough. I guess I'm personally not the candidate for Game Pass, so I'm just like, I need to do something with this box.
yeah, Claire Obscura comes out this year or this month. Doom, The Dark Ages,
next month.
What else is
South of
coming
Midnight this week.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
not
South
this
of
week, but
Midnight.
this week for those who are listening.
Right, Towerborn's coming out soon. Was that the 33 Immortals came out this week?
That reminds me, we need to do our next round of Metacritic very soon before more stuff comes out that we haven't had a chance to pick.
Yeah, that we could probably do that next week because we'd have the Switch announcements.
Yeah, we'll just do it next. We'll do it next week
Okay.
then.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
anyway,
'cause-
hot potato goes to you now,
Yeah.
Corey.
I mean, you took my keep it up, but Game Informer back is a real positive. I mean, it does. I mean, I do care what happens to people that what.
I was about to say, shouldn't we become the attaboy to the group that bought in?
I'm getting there, LeRon.
Oh, okay,
Dang. Anyways,
Corey's gonna mute my mic next.
Game Informer, like I'm glad they're back. I'm glad, that Gunzilla kind of came in and made that deal, right, to get their entire back catalog of magazines, so they'll be available in archives. The entire staff obviously is back, and they all got raises and promotions, and it's just good to see that someone cared enough to think that a legacy brand like Game Informer, regardless of how, paper, the magazines are kind of obsolete at this point in the way that we used to read them. But the fact that Gunzilla kind of came in and saved them, and the importance of having that legacy brand is more important than selling the magazine, at this point. I mean, they're a staple in the games industry. It's something that everybody our age knows, and so yeah, good on them for doing that. Also, I think it might be a steady income in case their crypto and Web3 stuff goes under, but that's a conversation for a different day. And for now, we're just going to celebrate Game Informer. In terms of get it together, I want to say get it together to my PlayStation, not necessarily PlayStation in general, but my PlayStation, because it has died for the third time. I'm about to go throw in the compactor tomorrow.
Wow, that's pretty
trash. Sad. Yeah, I probably won't replace it because how Stephanie feels on the Xbox side is how I feel on the PlayStation side. I don't feel the need to spend $400 on a box that's going to sit there and not turn on. You know what I mean? Or $500 or $700 or however much. So, I'd rather buy a Switch 2 and like an entire roster full of games than a PlayStation to sit and die again.
All
yeah.
Right.
I was so mad. I turned it on to like claim my free games, and it was just like,
Corey,
no, there's something wrong.
Install the PlayStation app on your phone and claim your free games. Okay,
I did, but they make them so hard to get to. It's annoying. It doesn't matter. I'm not a PlayStation Plus subscriber anymore anyway.
Maybe for you iPhone users, like it's like it's totally fine for me on Android.
It's okay. I uninstalled it because I'm getting rid of my PlayStation, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm not a PlayStation
that's
subscriber
fair.
anymore anyway. I unsubscribed, so I wouldn't have to pay for something I don't own.
Matt said, "I'm so out of the loop. These games sound made up."
Yeah, I thought you were going to bed, dude.
No, I think he was just leaving work.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wait, what games sound made up?
All the stuff you guys prattled off.
Doom Dark Ages.
Oh,
Clair Obscura Expedition 33.
You see, Clair Obscura sounds made up.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Game.
All right,
looks cool. I don't know how invested I'm going to be in it, though. To be fair.
All right, well, Corey, I'm passing the baton back to you, so you can do this final segment and take us out.
So I guess we could wrap up talking about what we've been playing real fast. I mean, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which we've talked about already, so I don't need to go too deep into that again. Also, I'm sure Pat has a lot more to say about it than I do, but it's fun. It's pretty. It's good. I have put about 5 hours into Monster Hunter. It's the controls are awful. They're so bad. There are at least 100 other games.
What is wrong? What is wrong about the controls for you?
Why is attack on B? Like, why is it? It should be the other way.
Hold on. Where's my Xbox controller?
Wait. Are you asking as an Xbox gamer or a Nintendo gamer?
I'm asking because
it feels completely natural to me, But that's also because Monster Hunter was a PlayStation IP.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it was also Monster was a PlayStation IP. So hold on, damn. damn
I
Xbox
just feel like
controller.
I've played a ton of other games that have better combat layout than this one.
Wait,
I mean, and maybe that's the point of the game, that it's just supposed to be obtuse.
not every. It's on B.
On Xbox, it is.
Okay, that's weird because it's X on PlayStation and PC.
Oh no, it's
Something's wrong with your controller layout. Something's wrong with your controller layout because I'm sitting like that.
It's the default controller layout. So
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can remap those damn controls. You know what? Don't make me don't make me find out you can remap those controls. All this because all this bitching is gonna make me cuss you out. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, I do like the concept of the game. I can't wrap my head around the controls. But
Adapt.
Have also been playing a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is it's pretty good. But I need to pick one of the open world games and stick with it.
You've already played Xenoblade Chronicles X. So what are you doing with your life? You can't count that towards
I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles X.
You can't count that towards a beat game. You cannot count that to your tally of beat games for the year because you've already beaten that game once.
Did you beat that game?
No, I did not.
You never beat that game?
No, I put about 40 hours into it. And
I don't know anyone who's beating Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I'll shut up.
Ridiculous.
I'll shut up now. Because the way he raves about all the Xenoblade Chronicles games, I could have sworn he's beaten every single one.
I do not rave about Xenoblade Chronicles games. Ed raves about them. I have never finished a Xenoblade Chronicles game.
Stephanie, Pat, please back me up. Like, he talks about these Xenoblade Chronicle games a lot, doesn't he?
I said I want to play them this year. I said I want to finish them this year.
Whatever. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm the one.
I think that they've done a really great job of positioning that series for Nintendo as a top series for them. Anyways, that's what I've been playing.
I need
Stephanie,
to go to bed.
What are you playing?
I'm starting to become a curmudgeon. I need to go to bed.
Well,
that's why I wrapped up what I've been playing.
Even though I was next in line, he completely skipped me. Whatever.
Yep. Stephanie, what are you playing?
Go next. No, LeRon, you talk about Monster Hunter Wilds as well.
I mean. Oh, okay, so let's just put it this way. Like I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds so much that I forgot that Tekken 8 dropped their season 2. So like I was on TikTok and I was like, is that Anna Williams? Like, wait, like the Tekken content? I've been so deep in the Monster Hunter that I forgot that the other game that I actively play actually had a new content drop. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, like Monster Hunter Wilds, like everything I'm doing right now is in the build up to the title update 1 that comes out this weekend. So yes, there's a lot of new stuff. I'm also excited for like the patches and balances that are coming out and stuff like that. By the way, you know, everybody like a lot of these monsters that were that people were complaining were too easy. They're getting beefed up. So you got what you wish for. So there's that. Matt. I love the fact that we can put people in timeout now. So do not make me time you out. Too busy trying to catch his 100 rank. Yeah, I mean, shit. You're like 50 100 ranks above me. like this is odd for me to be the one with the lowest 100 rank, you know, because I'm usually the one that has like the highest 100 rank and is carrying everybody. And you know, like Matt is just giving me all sorts of hell about this. I hate you, guy. Yeah. So yeah. As a matter of fact, Matt, just to make you chuckle on the inside, I'm still not 100 rank 100 yet. I'm 100 rank 99 right now. I did not have the energy in me the other night to actually get the few points left to get 100. So there you go. Oh my God, this guy right here. Yeah, so Monster Hunter Wilds. That pretty much it's making me forget about other games, including Ghost of Tsushima.
And that just means you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, I am, and I'm waiting for the content drop. All right, Stephanie, your turn.
I've been playing a lot of Steam games. Shockingly, I think I've probably spent the most amount of time on Steam Deck that I ever have. I think I just wanted a cleanse from the other games I've been playing. Like I was hitting my PS5 and Switch pretty hard. I was planning on selling one of my Switch OLEDs, but I couldn't find one of the Switch charger that went with it. So anyway, that being said, um, I am playing. My son is playing Tears of the Kingdom, and he wants me to play along with him, meaning like I'll play a little bit and then he'll play with it. I'm the one who's like, no, you got to go towards the yellow blinking dot and progress the story or progress your missions. And all he's doing is collecting mushrooms and cooking stuff and, throwing those poor Koroks into the river and stuff like that. And trying to kill horses. I don't know, man. Like he's just doing like really random stuff as a 9-year-old will, but I'm happy that he wanted to play it. So I'm playing quote unquote with him. But as far as what I'm really playing, two of them I'm reviewing currently. Actually, my game review just posted today because of the embargo. A game called Layla. It is an indie game on Steam, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very short jaunt through what looks like a hand-drawn experience. A woman named Layla is using a device given to her by her daughter to enter her mind and kind of relive certain memories of her life that maybe either she regret or kind of has difficulty kind of working through and process. So you go through various pivotal points in her lifetime, whether it's her childhood, adolescence, adulthood, encounter her struggles, the mistakes she's made, and you have several like mini games slash puzzles, which all represent kind of how she processes things back in each stage of her life. I really loved it. It was very profound, and it was beautiful. Um, and the sound was great. It's made by a small team based out of Istanbul, Turkey. So I really enjoyed it. Check out my review if you like story-driven games, hand-drawn games with hand-drawn art, short games. I do recommend Layla. I really did like it. I am also playing Fields of Mystria. I have not touched a farming sim since Harvest Moon 64 because I just got so burnt out on farming sims. But I heard a lot of great things about it. So I hopped on and really enjoying it, primarily just for the pursuit of romancing everyone I can all at the same time. And just see who I end up with. So, but it's fun. I do recommend it if you like farming sims and you want something other than Stardew Valley. And then I don't know, I've been playing a lot. I'm currently playing through Sultan's game. It's another game where I'm going to be writing a review for. I'm still playing it because I got a key to review it prior to its release, which was yesterday. And prior to its release, it was not very good. Like a almost like half of the dialogue or writing was still not translated. So I did not know what was going on half the time. The tutorial was completely different than what the actual game experience was. And because it's a deck building roguelike RPG, you
Corey's
go
favorite.
through runs, and I kept dying, I don't know, a couple turns in, and I was getting very frustrated. I'm like, the system doesn't make sense. It's overly complicated. I can't freaking read half of this. But and I was ready to write, a review and just give it a low score. But I'm like, you know what? It is pre-release. Let me just wait till it release and see if they've updated everything and fix it on time, because that's what's going to matter the most. And I don't, what's going to matter the most is the version they officially put out, and they fix some things. Everything got translated. It's not everything's translated well, but everything's finally translated, and I'm actually having meaningful runs, actual meaningful runs that when it's over, I get boons or whatnot to play again. And now I'm like on my 12th or 13th hour of playing it. I was just surprised. It's still rough around the edges, but it's now enjoyable enough where I actually kind of want to keep playing and see if I can actually truly beat the game. Long story short, Sultan's game. You are one of the nobles in the Sultan's court, and the Sultan's a huge major douchebag. He indulges in this game of mysterious cards of his favorite pastimes, like, giving into your carnal desires, bloodshed, conquest, extravagance, almost like your seven deadly sins, but not sins. It's just like a bunch of these things that the Sultan enjoys. And you need to act out on those things, but that usually requires someone dying. And you need to break these cards by a certain amount of time, by 7 days. And if you don't, the Sultan will execute you. So you basically need to live your life and tackle these like side stories or missions, gather allies, to eventually find a means for breaking these cards and not getting killed in the process. So it's not your top tier deck builder, which is kind of odd because I used to hate those things, but now I have a couple of them that I like. Like I loved Inscription, I love Slay the Spire. This one's maybe not as up to par as far as polish, but it is definitely intriguing once you play a good version of it and understand the system, which it took a while. And then last but not least, I won't go into it too much because I'm sure Pat will want to talk about it a bit, but I am playing Split Fiction with Pat. It's living up to its hype. It is gorgeous. It is silly. It is fun. It is poignant. I am playing as Zoe, the girl or young woman or woman who is in charge, not who writes the fantasy side of things. So.
And I play as Mio, who does the sci-fi part of it. And it's kind of funny because I feel like we chose the player that actually represents our own personality closer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm not going to go too far into it because this is going to be a book club game, but it is a lot of fun. And I highly recommend if you can find someone to play with you, you should play this game. It's I would say it's been a blast playing it with Steph right now, and it does a lot of really neat. It has a lot of neat ways in getting people to like co-op, like play co-oply together, in terms of solving the puzzles. I mean, like or hate Joseph Ferris, the guy is a pretty big genius when it comes to these multiplayer games. He's it's almost like he reinvented the genre, I feel.
Yeah,
Right? It's one of those
I can agree with
things
that.
that I wanted to hate just because of his personality, but I feel that geniuses tend to have that type of personality. So at least it makes sense, and it is a great product, a great game. Definitely has some interesting themes about ownership of creativity, and also there is a variety of gameplay. Like we've blew through so many different genres, it's crazy. Thankfully, some of it I'm good at, most of them I'm bad at. That Pat had to kind of help pull the weight a little bit. Um,
Yeah, I can't jump in and do it, but I can at least like look at the screen and kind of like hint like, okay, you want to jump now, or here's the plan. Like, you do this and look for these, and then there's other times when we both get kind of frantic and we're like, yelling at each other, like, what's the next thing in the combination? It's this, it's this. What is it? Ramen golf club, ramen.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever this mark is.
A lot of references to games that exist or franchises, like the Contra style boss, for example. Like I'm like, okay.
Yeah, or the Assassin's Creed reference of the leap of faith. There's a lot of nods to various video game and movie franchises to this. It is. I would definitely put it as a feel good game for the most part. Like it does have a serious story at times, but it's just been a whole lot of fun. It's a lot of nonstop action. They throw little side stories that are optional that are just like they are a blast to play because you don't know quite what you're expecting. Which some have frustrated us and others have like literally just made us like laugh like crazy. Like the pigs.
Oh, the pigs.
The pigs. Ah, those pigs. Or the teeth. That was another fucked up story.
The teeth one, and also the one where it's like Halloween Town / Harry Potter Land and
Yeah, the ghost kitties and the
drinking
potions.
potions. Yeah.
Riding the snail to like half the level and you having to wait for me to catch up.
And slipping on this. Yeah. So now we're getting into like,
Flipping
but
on the
see, like,
slime.
it's really engaging. I even talked to a coworker that's not a gamer at all, and she knew I was. She goes, my husband and I were playing Split Fiction." So it's definitely a one that many people, gamers and not gamers alike, can have fun with.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, we
And
put
with
LeRon to sleep.
you weren't kidding.
Uh-oh.
LeRon.
What up?
Is he frozen?
Oh,
Or is he just sleeping?
What up?
yeah, no, it's and
I was
it's
tuned,
also
I was
fairly
tuned in on something. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
yeah,
Just
no.
picking on you.
Also in terms of difficulty, like the game has been extremely generous with a lot of its
Very forgiving.
checkpoints.
Yes.
So you don't really have to be that good at games, and
the
able to
the
progress
only
forward.
the only game I played by Ferris is A Way Out.
Mhm.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed it so much that I was actually going to get like It Takes Two and Split Fiction, but I just haven't, just brought myself to the cusp. And it's more like, who am I going to play with?
Your boyfriend.
Yeah,
It's a couch
Aw,
co-op.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we
Dude,
got to.
it would be a perfect date game for you guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, actually, we figured out that like it's going to be The Last of Us Part Two.
Or that.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Not quite a date game, but you do you. All right. Then to kind of go through mine. Yes, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I do have Yasuke on my team now. Finally, there are some missions that are mandatory to Naoi's and some missions that are mandatory to him. But other than that, you can literally switch them off on the fly. Just by going into your inventory menu and just say, switch character. So it is kind of cool that way. And of course, they both have their own little dialogues that they have with other people, but it's an interesting game. There's one feature that we didn't really talk about, and that's the hideout builder. And it's basically a kind of an Animal Crossing where you get buildings and you place them on a grid, and those buildings help like improve your hideout level and also improve like your skills because eventually you can get some followers to join you and it can train them up, or it can help you like maybe build a forge and build up some weapons. But you have full customization of this little village. Like you can put your buildings wherever in any direction. You can create different pathways, put different trees, plants, gardens, other kind of buildings, other just like it is completely customizable. So if you're like a person of great like creativity, you could probably spend a hell of a lot of time building up your little hideout to however you want. And I've seen some pretty nice looking hideouts online. So it's
It
an
kind of
interesting
almost
little
feels like an
feature.
evolution of. It almost feels like an evolution of what they thought about doing in Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
couldn't.
Yeah, because a lot of the Assassin's Creeds kind of have a hideout where you have a little bit of ability to customize, but not a whole lot. Like this one is just fully customizable. Up until like even when you build the different buildings, you can customize what you put in these buildings in terms of like artwork or armor pieces or just little other things that you found on your journey that you can just like set up on shelves. It's very customizable. Um, but again, yeah, the game is absolutely gorgeous. It is a lot more story heavy than I would say the last few Assassin's Creeds have been. Like the beginning does have a lot of cutscenes in it, but it definitely helps build the characters a lot better, in my opinion. And it does help that this takes place in the Sengoku period because I do know a lot of the people in the history. So someone can come, like, you can see Hanzo, like Hattori Hanzo, show up, who was like a famous shinobi. Lord Oba or Lord Nobunaga Oda, is in the game. Takeshi Mitsuhide, um, like all these people that I've gotten used to from Samurai Warriors or the Nio series are like they're back again essentially. So I know who they are, and I think that is kind of cool to finally know these characters versus like the Vikings or some of the people in yeah, actually in like pretty much I haven't really known anyone in the history since like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, to be perfectly honest. uh, like historical figures. So it's nice to see some new ones. Xenoblade Chronicles X. It is, it's nice to be able to play this game. This game is huge. Like literally the world is just absolutely gigantic. I will say though, it's very different from a lot of the Xenoblade games. I would feel this version or this game is a very grindy game compared to a lot of the other Xenoblades. Um, like, unable to partake in story missions, you have to have a certain amount of the continent explored. You also have to be at a certain level with your characters. There's a lot of different classes you can turn your character and able to get those skills that are needed for. They are kind of lengthy and fights, to be honest. Like, and you want to be at kind of the same level as the creature that you're fighting, otherwise they're going to kick your ass. Also, you want to be kind of at the same height level as the creature that you're fighting, because you could fight like a level 6 creature at level 12, but if they're like 5 stories taller than you, they will still hit you really hard and probably kill you in like 2 hits, which is weird for something that's like level 6.
Oh boy.
But yeah, a lot of the creatures on planet Mira will kill you in this game, and
They'll get you.
yeah, the goal is to eventually get yourself up to the level and position where you can finally get the skills or the giant mech suits, because that is what you need to actually fight a lot of these creatures. Until then, you kind of got to be a little picky at which ones you choose, which is also kind of hard because the map will mix things like your little level 2s and level 3 characters right next to something that's in the level 30s or level 99s, which you'll also find on the first map too. So like it's luckily half of them only half of them are like interested in you, and they're mostly the creatures at nighttime. So you can kind of run around without initiating fights that often. But if you do initiate a fight with the wrong kind of creature, they will smack you really hard, really fast. Um, so it's
Yeah.
more that kind of game that's there for people who enjoy doing like missions, not necessarily for the story, but to do the exploring and the missions. Um,
Yeah, it's
but
definitely
in terms of
different.
story, yeah, it's not the most story heavy game to be out there or out there. Um, and finally, I think with all the various like open world games and RPGs, I needed something a little more focused, and I believe this was part of my backlog challenge. I re-downloaded Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I finally managed to get through that game and get all the little rock characters. It's both a very good game, but it's also has its flaws. But it's a very gorgeous game. Like this is literally Pixar animation quality cutscenes with some beautiful environments and some beautiful music. The gameplay is, it's fun to start off with, but it also is one of those that kind of wears down towards the end with like introducing one new skill every few hours. But then it repeats use of that skill to ad nauseum until you get your new skill. But there are some great stories in Kenna. It's a beautiful story about human versus their will to change, human versus nature, human versus death, and just kind of grief and moving on. Like it's got various human stories about in this game. And Thread, of course, are just they're adorable. I wish they had a little more purpose in the game, but you use them to solve some little puzzles, and then they help you in battle, kind of like a Pikmin, but not quite as involved as a Pikmin. But it's a
Do they
gorgeous
drown
game,
when
man.
you throw them in water?
I never did that.
The Pikmin did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the rat though. The rats don't drown. The rats don't die.
I was like, I never did that. Like, was that a thing? Yeah.
No, in Pikmin,
No,
yes,
it's
not
just
the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's
Nothing.
that's it.
Nice. LeRon?
What?
What are you doing?
I wait. I thought I kicked it back to you so you could like do the last segment. You know what?
I'm
Thanks,
asking you
everyone.
what you're doing.
I guess I'm
You look
outsourcing the
awfully
show.
relaxed in your chair.
Yeah, I was.
I was saying you look awfully relaxed in your chair.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? It's been a long day for me. Let's just put it that way.
No, it hasn't.
Yes,
Nope.
it has. Yes, it has.
No excuses. All right, let's get out of here. I want to thank everybody out there for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can catch us every week on your podcast service of choice. Leave us a rating and a nice review. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch us live on Tuesdays now, if you so choose to. You can hang out with us around 9 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little before, maybe a little after. It depends on if I can get my ass together. Stephanie, Patrick, and LeRon, thank you for your time tonight, as always. And everyone out there, if you want to be a patron, you can go to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, youtube.com/BossRushNetwork, and of course, find all of our content on bossrush.net. Thank you so much for watching and or listening, and until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, and happy Switch
Later.
2 Day.
Long.
Switch 2. Oh yeah, join us live tomorrow if you're watching live. Bye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.